This is one of the most requested songs I've had to break down and do a lesson on. So I've actually posted video of me playing this on a live gig. I've posted a lesson on this type of groove, but never simply like, hey, here's the groove from the song and that type of a thing. Now, I've got the whole, the entire song, the notation for the entire song, the sheet music for the entire drum part is actually available for download. It's free. You can grab that in the comments section. I pinned a comment, or you can grab it in the video description. So please go snag that. That's there for you for free. Now, I'm going to explain how to play this groove from the Tears for Fears song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's one of those songs where it's from the 80s, and when you hear it, the guitar line is hypnotic, and then the drums come in. And you instantly, as a drummer, want to go learn this song because the groove sounds so fun. This is a deceptively tricky groove. It sounds really smooth, but it's deceptively tricky, and it's a variation on a shuffle. And so it's going to be triplet based. We're going to be in 4/4 time, and the song is around 112 BPM. All right, so a basic shuffle would be this. We have triplets here, and you're going to play the first and the third triplet partial of every beat. So I count triplets: 1 lolly, 2 lolly. You can count them 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. However you want to count them is fine. But that's how I count them. So it's going to be on the 1 and the li. So 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4. That's going to be a typical shuffle. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's going to be a shuffle that we're accustomed to hearing. Well, in this setting, what happened was the hi-hat part. That's the part that really sticks out, okay? It's got this shuffled synth bass part doom, 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 that's going underneath this whole thing, and we'll talk about the kick drum in just a second. And I'm going to show you a couple different variations because I've seen drummers with the band, both the original drummer and hired drummers, playing it with the band or with the singer in different ways. I've actually seen it 4 different ways. So I'm going to kind of break that down and let you see all the different ways that I've seen it played so that you can learn all the variations. But again, the full chart is available for you. You can download that. That's in the video description as well as in a pinned comment on this video too. So go download that. It's the full transcription of the drum part for the song. That's 100% free. So now let's look at what is happening with the hi-hat. The snare is still on 2 and 4, so we keep that backbeat. But the hi-hat, instead of doing this regular shuffle pattern, what happens is he plays every other triplet partial, but starts with the upbeat triplet partial. So instead of starting with the downbeat, so 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, he starts with the upbeat. So triplet, triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, it goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly. All right, and he's going to put that on top of the snare pattern. All right, so 2 and 4 is on the snare. So it's going to go ba 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 3, 4, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now that's a fun pattern. All right, now what's happening in the kick drum? Now look, I've seen this in 4 different ways. So I'm going to start with the simplest way, and then we're going to build up to the more complex ways, okay? The simplest way is 4 on the floor. So if you're just learning this groove, you're a beginner, intermediate, and you're like, I want to learn that Tears for Fears song, I want to learn that groove, then you'll learn this one. It's going to be 4 on the floor. So we're playing quarter notes with the kick drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1. All right, so that's the simplest way. All right, now, what's another way that we could play this, or that I've seen it played? I've seen it played because the bass part is shuffled. There's that heavy shuffled synth part. I've seen it played with the kick drum shuffled on a regular shuffle pattern. So pop, 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 pop. And that's a little challenging to play over or underneath this hi-hat pattern, okay? So we would get the hi-hat pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on beat 1, it would hit in between the kick drum, and on beat 2, it would hit with the kick drum. Okay, and that would be the groove. And if we played it at full tempo, 1, 2. All right, now this song's about 112 BPM, okay? So to get this smooth and sounding like it doesn't have any hiccups in it, then you really want to practice it. Now, the third way I've seen it is, if you look at a live video from them in around 1985, shows the drummer playing the first 2 triplet partials in the kick drum on beat, or excuse me, the first and the third triplet partial on the kick drum on beats 1 and 3. So that's going to be 1 la li and then 3 la li. The hi-hat plays in between those. Because as the drummer, if you have that heavy synth pad that's going, oh, boom, 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 we don't necessarily have to drive that shuffle pattern with our kick drum. All right, so if we put it up to full tempo, so that's a third way. Now there's a fourth way that mixes that way and shuffling the bass drum on all of the beats, okay? And so that is going to be played with the kick on the same as it was, so on the first and the third triplet partial of 1 and 3. And then we're gonna take the kick and also play it on the downbeat of 2 and 4. So all right, so let's check that one out. So it's all in what you feel glues it together best in the situation that you're in. You may be in a situation where you're running samples and you have this heavy bass synth in the background, and that's driving things, so you can afford to do a 4 on the floor, you can afford to do the third pattern that we did. It just all has to do with the band, how it's comprised, and the situation that you're in. But those are the different ways that I've seen that groove played, and if you listen to the recording, you can make arguments for several of them. All right, the one I hear a lot on the recording whenever I'm listening to it is. But a lot of stuff can happen in the studio. We can bring things up and down. We can not accent notes. So those are that's the 4 ways I've seen it. Now something else I like to do is I actually like to fill in the missing triplets with my snare drum, real soft ghost notes. But that's really challenging because you have a tap into a downstroke accented into another tap And so that would be what I call a jab, punch, jab. If you've taken my Ghost Note Mastery course, that would be what I would call that. Now, if we were to play that in the groove, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just kind of played through all of the kick drum patterns. But that is how you play the Tears for Fears song. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot going. You have that pickup fill, which is going to be on beat 3. It's the first 2 triplet partials, so triple it. And then on beat 4, you have all 3 triplets, right, left, and then on the hi-hat, and that starts it into this, or into that groove, all right? So that's essentially the song. There's not a lot to break down besides that, but that is the 4 different ways that I've seen that groove played. Learn them all, and I guarantee you'll use them in different situations. If you're in a smaller band situation, maybe you fill in all the triplets with that shuffled kick drum pattern to really give you the drive. It just depends, again, on the situation, but hopefully that has helped you. If you feel like it has, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what other songs you want to hear. What are the grooves you want broken down as well? If you're needing drum lessons, jump over to the Drum Better Daily program on the website, stevensdrumshed.com. That's linked in the video description as well. The Drum Better Daily program is it's a program that I've developed over the years, and it's very much pinpointed at what your needs are and getting you zeroed in on just focusing on those, developing a plan, and it's a very personalized thing. I'm very much involved in there. So if you need that, that's there. Share it with somebody you think it may help. Give it that thumbs up. As well, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done that, there's a ton of new lessons coming out. Song breakdowns, drum fills, drum grooves, professional advice, gear, all of that stuff is coming. And then hit the notifications. I've been going live here lately, and so those notifications will let you know whenever I put a new video up, as well as whenever I'm live, so that you can maybe tune in and chat with us. But whatever you do, I'll see you here in the next video.